Matters. I'm Brandon Bent. Today we're diving into a story that's sending shockwaves through the FBI and raising serious questions about the politicization of law enforcement in America. Since Kash Patel took over as FBI director, the Bureau has dramatically ramped up its use of polygraph, lie detector tests, but not just for the usual security clearances or internal investigations. This time, they're being used to root out internal dissent and enforce personal loyalty. Multiple sources inside the FBI say that dozens of senior officials and agents have been compelled to undergo polygraph exams. And these aren't your standard questions about national security. Some agents have been asked outright if they've ever criticized Director Patel or his deputy, Dan Bongino. Others have been grilled about whether they've leaked information to the press or spoken negatively about Bureau leadership. One particularly striking case involved a polygraph exam to find out who disclosed Patel's unusual request for a service weapon, even though he isn't a field agent. The message is clear. Dissent or even mild criticism could cost you your job. Agents are describing a climate of fear and distrust, where speaking up or even being suspected of disloyalty could lead to forced resignation or early retirement. Former FBI agent James Davidson put it bluntly, "An FBI employee's loyalty is to the Constitution, not to the director or deputy director. It says everything about Patel's weak constitution that this is even on his radar." The backlash has been swift. Lawmakers like Representative Mike Quigley have condemned the practice, calling it a perilous precedent that undermines the independence and morale of career public servants. Former officials say this marks a sharp break from FBI tradition, where polygraphs were never used to police personal allegiance or silence internal critics. The fallout is already visible. Reports indicate a wave of resignations and a drain of experienced personnel. Some, like former senior agent Michael Feinberg, chose to leave the agency rather than submit to what they saw as an ideologically motivated loyalty test. So how are Patel and Bongino defending this crackdown? Deputy Director Bongino says the polygraph campaign is part of a broader accountability process. In his words, "We are removing employees who have violated their oaths and those who invited partisanship into the workplace. The process is ongoing and will not stop." But critics argue the real aim is to enforce ideological purity and suppress dissent, not to protect national security. Let's step back and look at the bigger picture. The forced use of lie detector tests under Kash Patel's leadership has ignited a fierce debate about the FBI's direction, the politicization of law enforcement, and the fundamental rights of government employees. The agency's internal culture and its public credibility are on the line. That's all for today's episode of Truth Matters. I'm Brandon Bent. Stay tuned, stay skeptical, and remember, the truth always matters.
Thanks for visiting the channel. Please make sure to click subscribe and like. It'll help support independent progressive media.